Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel Tech with Ram. In today's video, we are going to look at APIs. I'm going to explain the different type of API calls that are commonly used in the IT world, and also show a small simple Python program to do an API call when you have an API endpoint. If you're new to the channel, do subscribe to it. If you are watching our videos for the first time and you find them useful, please do like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment in the comment box. Your feedback helps me make my videos better. Okay, without any further delay, let's get into today's video. Okay, so there are four different types of API calls that people make in the IT world that are very common. I'm not saying the API calls that can be made are limited to these four, but these four are very common. They are get, put, delete, and post. So get, as the name suggests, is to retrieve some data from the internet. Put, as the name put is used to update something that is existing earlier. So say put is something like, say you have a food database and say ID1 corresponds to maybe burger, and you want to update ID1 to point to maybe pizza. Then you could do a put call to for with ID as 1, so that 1 gets updated to pizza instead of burger. Okay. Delete is to delete a record from whatever uh, database or whatever website the API endpoint refers to. So say you have a database having burger, pizza, rice, biryani, a lot of food items in a food database, and you want to delete maybe biryani out of it. Then you do a delete with the ID for biryani, the record which has biryani, and then the record for biryani gets deleted from the food database. So that is how it happens. And post is to post some new data into the database or the storage, whatever the API endpoint refers to. So if you have to add a new food item, maybe pasta, you give post with ID as 1 and name as pasta, so that the food database gets updated and pasta gets included in the next update. Okay, next refresh. Okay, to explain it better, I have an Excel that I can show you, which will compare the differences between all these different databases. Okay, API calls. Okay, so today we have a pet database. 1 corresponds to dog, cat corresponds to 2, snake corresponds to 3, 4 corresponds to mouse. Okay, now what we are going to do is, if we do a get call, what happens? A get call will do nothing but say, in get call, say we have an API endpoint which ending with /pet and pet ID. So if I give /pet and 1, it will retrieve dog. Okay, so this is the purpose of a get call. So if you perform a get call like this, that will retrieve the record for which the ID is being passed to. Similarly, it can many other parameters can be passed to this API response other than ID. But yeah, put is something where, so after /pet, I put /ID as 1 and name as dog. Then sorry, and name as maybe I say a mice or a rat. Okay. In that case, if I pass something like 1 and I pass something like say mice, okay, in my put response, that would mean after I perform the API call, the dog here will be replaced with mice in the database. Okay, so that is put response. Okay, now third is delete. So if I send a response with ID 1 and do a delete API call, that would mean that this first line, right, uh, would get deleted. So your database will be left with something like this. Okay, that is what a delete call will do. And post, like I explained earlier, it uploads something. So if I want to add maybe a new type of animal into it, say dog. Okay, I do a post. Okay, post with name as dog. In that case, the ID, if it's auto generated, gets generated and dog gets inserted. So after post call, this is how your database is expected to look like. Okay, I hope you are now clear on different types of API calls one can make. Uh, let's proceed to seeing how to make a get call using a Python program. Okay, For this, we need some free APIs, right? From some API URL that we can do this demo API call on. So for that, I search for free API URLs on Google. Okay, so there's n number of sites that you can find, which gives you testing APIs for free. So let's click on the first one itself. Let's see what happens. There you go. So here there are multiple APIs. Okay, cool. Let's look at this API. What is it? Board. Board is a free API to do something, to find something to do by getting suggestions for random activities. So let's copy this. Okay. So let's just run it. And I can see that a JSON response is returned. Okay. So when you run it in the browser, right, by default, it's a get call. Okay. So that is why you're getting the data. Okay. You can do post and update as well if you know the credentials for it. But a get is, so this is free get call API. Okay. So we can go to their website and understand. So how do you go to their website? Just delete the API and activity part and you will see their website. Okay. So that I came to know that this is just a normal API hosting website. Okay. And they only say like after if you post something like this, sorry, if you do a get call on an API endpoint like this, you would be returned with some data like this, which is activity type, participants, link, key, and accessibility. Okay. Let's try to do this using Python. Okay. For that, I am using Spider Editor. Okay. In Python, to perform an API call, there are multiple libraries that lets you do it. What I am going to make use of is the request library. Okay. So I'm importing requests. Okay. Now let me show you how to make a get call. To make a get call, it's simple. First, let's call it board API, because we're calling a site called board. Okay. Board API equal to request, which is the library we just imported, dot get. Okay. And in single quotes or double quotes, give the URL endpoint. Okay. Which is nothing but the board API, board.api.com/API/activity. Let's copy this and paste it here. Okay. Yep. So this will make an API call. So let me print board API and see what gets printed. Okay. Let me run this. Response 200. A successful API call gives you a response of 200. But oh, I can't see the data that actually gets returned. I don't see this getting returned, right? So how do I do that? It is very simple. Okay. So after board API data is printed, let's try to parse it into a dictionary because it's a JSON, right? Dictionary is a corresponding data type to JSON in Python. Okay. So say, let me create a new variable, board API dict equal to board API dot JSON bracket. Okay. This will let you store board API as a dictionary. Okay. So now let's print board API dict, and let's also print type of board API dict to show you that this is getting saved as a dictionary. Okay. Let's just play it and see what happens. Yep. I got the JSON back and it's asking me to watch a classic movie. Maybe I'll get to that after this video. And the class is dictionary. Okay. So if I want to parse just one of these variables from the dictionary, again, I can do that as well. It's nothing but print board API dict of. Since it's a dictionary, you can just use it like a normal dictionary. So if I want to see what activity I must be doing, I can print just board API dict of activity. Okay, let me print that and see. Oh, it's telling me teach your dog a new trick. Unfortunately, I don't have a dog, so might not get to that today. Yeah, sometime in the future, maybe. So I hope this lesson on APIs and how you call APIs using Python was helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My contact details would be available in the about section of our channel. If you found the video useful, please do leave a like and your comment in the feedback section. Thank you.